Have you ever imagined what it would be like if you unexpectedly bumped into your teenage crush? There have always been fangirls, I think. Certainly, when I was young, I was a fangirl. But in those days, unlike today, you couldn't tweet to your fangirl crush. You couldn't necessarily even go and see them if they were a singer or in a band. You couldn't necessarily very easily see them perform, especially where I lived, up in North Lincolnshire. So when I did have a crush, a teenage crush, I could just watch Top of the Pops or gaze lovingly at their image or his image in Jackie magazine. Now, when I was 13, I had a very intense and short-lived crush on a singer, or musician rather, called Marty Christian. I dare say you've never heard of him. It's a long time ago. And he was in a band called the New Seekers. They sang a song called I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing, in perfect harmony. I won't sing it to you now because I'd really like to protect your ears, but it was very popular at the time and even became known for being a Coca-Cola advertisement. Now, really, in terms of Marty Christian, it wasn't the music that I was interested in. Oh, no, no, no. It was him. His beautiful, pretty face, his cascading blonde hair. Oh, goodness me. Did I stare endlessly at his photograph in Jackie magazine? Yes. Did I just long to see him on Top of the Pops and catch that really brief glimpse of his pretty face? Oh, yes, indeed. Well, I used to think to myself, one day, Marty Christian, you will see me and you will fall in love with me in just the way that I have fallen in love with you. As I said, it was an intense yet short-lived crush. And then I went on to have crushes on Mark Bolan and David Bowie. And I did actually like their music. Now, well, you would think, wouldn't you, years later, I would have forgotten about Marty Christian, and I thought I had too. But 9 years later, when I was supposedly a sophisticated 22-year-old, having completed my degree, I had a job in a petrol station in northwest London. It was one of those jobs that you have just to tide you over. It was an okay job, you know, selling petrol and confectionery and just keeping an eye on the forecourt just to make sure that no one ran away without paying for their petrol. I did actually catch someone once. Yeah. Well, one day when I was serving customers, I had quite a long queue in front of me. And I looked down the queue briefly, and there was this face that I recognised. Yes, you've guessed it, Marty Christian. His face was just the same, but I think his blonde locks had become grey. I thought, no, that can't be Marty Christian. I just looked over on the forecourt and I saw this really lovely little sports car out there, and I'm pretty sure the number plate was something like Marty #1. So yes, it had to be Marty Christian. And for some reason, at that point, I became that 13-year-old teenage girl, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, there's Marty Christian in the queue, and I'm going to completely fluff up his transaction. I'm just not going to be able to, you know, be able to perform as I should do normally selling petrol. I'm going to make a fool of myself. Why should I make a fool of myself? I'm 22 years old now. I don't have a crush on this singer anymore. But anyway, he gradually got closer. My heart was thumping. And yes, I did make a fool of myself. He must have thought, oh, who is this silly girl serving me petrol? She can't, you know, she's like, her voice is quivering, her hands are shaking. Anyway, I sold him the petrol. Now, if I'd really thought about it, perhaps I could have said, oh, Marty Christian, yes, I remember you. I used to think your songs were great. Not that I did really, but no, just fluffed it up completely and was just left a bit like, oh, all right then. So here's a question for you. Have you ever unexpectedly bumped into your teenage crush? Or maybe you haven't. What would you do if you did? Would you behave like me, or would you be cool about it? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Not exactly silly, but quite silly subject matter for my video today. My next video is going to be a much more serious, on a much more serious subject. I'm about to be involved in a project with Save the Children, so please, please, please watch this space. As well as that, Friday the 15th of March is Red Nose Day, Comic Relief Day, and my son Charlie McDonnell, otherwise known as Charlie Is So Cool Like, is being sponsored to do his 25th challenge for 25 years of comic relief. So if you could just look down below, it would be great if you could sponsor him. I can't really talk very well now, but thank you very much for watching. Bye!